Well, Kevin Durant said his time in Rio with Team USA provided a needed escape from the criticism he's received after leaving the Thunder to sign with the Warriors. He told The Vertical. Katie said that playing for his country helped to flip his script and change his role from villain to hero. He went on to say, "It was therapy for me after making a big change in my life. It made my life easier. I knew a backlash was coming. It was definitely different for me, but to come here in an environment where people accepted me and didn't care about anything except being my buddy, that's what I needed." Stephen A., what do those comments say about Kevin Durant?
It says that he needed therapy. That's what it says. It says that obviously he's a sensitive lad who cares a lot about what people think, no matter how he tries to deny it. That is not a crime. It is not something to be insulted about. It is not something to be criticized about. I've said on many occasions, regardless of my feelings about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors, it doesn't negate the fact that he's one of the top 3 players in the world, and he's a really good person. You know, at his core, the things that he's done in the communities, various communities, but particularly in Oklahoma City while he was there, the kind of disposition that he has in terms of his humility and his decency as a person. Kevin Durant is a good guy. It's just that I'm getting to the point where I'm getting tired of having to preface my comments by speaking about how good guys are. Melo's a good dude. You know, LeBron is a great dude. All of these guys are good. We're talking basketball. And what I will hold against Kevin Durant with the whole therapy thing is that I think it highlights a bigger issue that's going on in the world of sports. Charles Barkley has alluded to it on many occasions doing the outstanding job he does during the NBA season for TNT, when he talks about how sensitive these guys are. This is basketball. We are talking basketball. And I am not backtracking from a damn thing that I said about Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. This may very well end up being a very successful season for him. But it may also be uncomfortable. And if it is uncomfortable, Kevin Durant deserves for it to be uncomfortable. Because when you are a superstar and you are one of the top 3 players in the world, in my opinion, you go to anybody but the team that beat you. It's one of the things that I got into it with his crew when I argued with them about my position because I called it the weakest move I had ever seen by a superstar. It had nothing to do with him leaving Oklahoma City. It has nothing to do with him going to a contender. It has everything to do with the fact that you went to the team who beat you 1 game away from the NBA Finals. 48 minutes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times because you were up 3-1. And that's the team you go to? That's my only issue. And the colossal shift in the balance of power during the regular season is just a huge turnoff. But that's just for me. For others, it may not turn you off at all.
What's happening here is Kevin Durant is making it clear that he's not who you want him to be, or who we want him to be, most basketball fans or sports fans. And that not only in terms of he's a killer, he's like Jordan, he's like Bird, he's like Magic, he's like Kobe, he's like LeBron even, what LeBron has developed into. He's not that way, that's not him. And not only is he showing that that's not who he is, he also hasn't internalized the lessons everyone's trying to teach him. And you gotta be a killer. You can't care about what anyone thinks. You shouldn't join your rival that just beat you. You should wanna join a team that's no good that you put over the top. Not only is he not internalized those lessons, because, you know, sometimes a guy pays lip service to it, but, you know, he's telling everyone what they want to hear. Not only is he not doing that, he is making it explicit that he rejects those lessons, that he thinks either he's an exception to the rule, can win a championship without it, or that's just not important to him. This is not who he is, and he's going to be honest about it. And the irony for him, of course, now is, were he simply to put on a mad face about losing and jump through all the hoops we want him to jump through, then even the fact that he joined the Warriors, he would escape some of the criticism. But the fact that he won't put on an act, he will be criticized, you know, additionally. That's the way it works. We want people to be honest, but when they are honest, if what they're honest about, if who they really are isn't who we wish they were, they will be criticized. So here Kevin Durant is being honest about who he is, and he will receive criticism for it.
He's going to receive criticism for it, and it is what it is. He shouldn't care. He should just go out there and perform. Just understand that if the Golden State Warriors win, unless Kevin Durant is averaging 40 or 50 and carrying the Golden State Warriors on his back, even though collectively they will be seen as champions, he's going to be looked upon a bit differently than Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala and those boys. He's not going to be viewed as the same because he jumped on the gravy train as opposed to being a part of a process that built that gravy train. Now, that doesn't take anything away from Kevin Durant's greatness. He is one of the top 3 players on the planet. He could be on my team any day of the week. He is a superstar. There is nothing wrong with Golden State going after him. There is nothing wrong with Steve Kerr and Bob Myers and all of those guys supporting him being there or the players wanting him to be there. If I were the Golden State Warriors, I would want him too. The issue is that, again, it's not just that you went to the team that beat you. How about when they beat you? If you went to them and you lost to them in the first round, that would be different. My God, you were up 3-1 on them. You lost a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals. People are looking at Kevin Durant and saying, damn, he threw game. I mean, he didn't throw it. I mean, they just said he choked in Game 6. That's what they're saying. And he wasn't aggressive enough in Game 7. And then let's take some of the other stuff if we want to be real about it and talk basketball here, because we're talking basketball. Look at the game. Remember, Max, I was standing courtside. I'm right there. The game, the final buzzer hadn't even sounded, Molly and Max. And Russell Westbrook is disgusted. And he's walking to the locker room. Yeah, you know, respectful and all of that stuff. But he got the hell out of there as quick as he possibly could. Kevin Durant on the floor hugging everybody and wishing them well and all of this other stuff. In our minds, did you know that you were going there then? I mean, because at certain points watching you play, it damn sure looked like you knew you wanted to be there. I mean, you just didn't seem to have the tenacity and the aggression to go after Golden State the way that we would like a superstar to do that. It's not that you need to be Jordan. It's not that you need to be Kobe. They weren't. There were killers that existed. Larry Bird was a killer before them. Isaiah Thomas was a killer before them. There were plenty of killers in the NBA. Sure. It's just that the makeup of a champion is evident. And when you see that it is lacking, it resonates. That's all we're saying.
And that's why I don't think when you say, like, he's not going to get the same credit as Steph or Iguodala or Draymond or any of those guys, I don't think that's who he's ultimately got to worry about getting credit next to. Because ultimately, his own talent has elevated him to the point where he will be or should be compared to the guys you just mentioned. You mentioned before, you know, like Bird and Isaiah, before Magic and Kobe, the killers. Magic Johnson, who's a killer with a smile. Today, LeBron James, because Kevin Durant's talent suggests Larry Bird and LeBron James 1, Larry Bird 2 at the position. Kevin Durant should be in the mix, but if he wins a championship even now with Golden State, as you mentioned, unless it's totally obvious that he's the best player and he's the reason they're winning, he simply will not get that LeBron or Bird credit.
You're going to look at one of the top 3 players on the planet. Arguably, actually not arguably, undisputably, one of the greatest talents we have ever seen in NBA history. You're going to look at him, even if he wins a championship, and you're going to have a raised eyebrow because he jumped on a wagon. It's just that simple. There's no other way to slice it. That's not me. You know, I'm just caught. We're talking basketball. This is how we talk basketball. This is what we do.
And those are the comments he wanted to get away from. So now he's back in the States, but we're going to leave it there. Coming up, Stephen A's friend, Tim Tebow, is going to work out. Don't get mad at me, please, for some MLB teams next week. But you do not want to miss Max's take on this.
Max?
Yeah, and I have a feeling you're going to go off.
What?
Just wait. Just
Got a little surprise
Just
for you.
relax. Just relax.